ఎవరు క్యాండిడేట్ అక్కడ ఉండేది? Right, let's start today's session. So this is your first session of Python full stack web development. In this session, I'm going to give a basic demonstration about Python full stack web development subjects. Okay. Yeah. Python full stack web development. See, to become a Python full stack web developer, I strongly recommend to learn these subjects first. One is Python language. Next one is Django framework. Next, REST API framework, Flask framework, UI basics like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap. And next, MySQL and also SQLite 3. So these are all the subjects which I'm going to cover in Python full stack web development. So you must aware one programming language knowledge and total 3 frameworks like Django, REST API, Flask, and UI technologies basics, and also database knowledge like MySQL as well as SQLite 3. Then you can claim yourself that is you are the Python full stack web developer. And depends on your requirement. I'm not asking you to enroll for Python full stack web development course because some students are looking for only Python language. Means, so I'll tell you, the situation is like if you are looking after Python learning, if you are looking data science or data analysis, data engineering, or else AWS, DevOps, AI, and ML. In these areas, if you are looking after Python learning, so for you, Python only required to learn. Python, basic Python, core and advanced Python is enough to learn. You need not to go with complete full stack related subjects like frameworks and UI and MySQL. In case your plan is, do you want to become completely full stack development of Python means, go for all the subjects, no problem at all. So depends on your requirement, you have to choose. But no matter if you are looking for full stack development or only Python development, first 45 days to 2 months, I'll teach you for all together only Python language. So if you are looking for only Python, your duration of Python course is 45 working days to 50 working days. Means up to 2 months. 45 working days to 2 months. This is the course duration. Up to 2 months. Only Python. And what about full stack web development? Means including frameworks, including UI basics and MySQL and SQLite 3 means the duration of complete full stack development course duration is 4 months compulsory. You will have the 4 months duration, and within the 4 months, you will be able to finish complete Python full stack development course. So depends on your requirement, you can decide that. Whether you are into full stack or only Python, you can decide. So for all full stack developers or only Python developers, first 45 days to 2 months, I'll focus on Python teaching only. Once you good at Python coding, then we will start web development process with the Django framework, REST API framework, Flask, as well as UI basics, and also MySQL and SQLite tracer. This is our schedule. And every day session is going to be recorded. Okay. The same session recorded video will be uploaded to your Google Drive, and the videos access will be lifetime access. And also along with the video, once your enrollment process is over with us, and you will receive all subject related PDF material like Python. If I start, you will get Python related PDF. Once we start Django related PDF material also will send to your mail. So videos will be there and materials will be there. You have to attend regular sessions and practice well. That's it. And also in the middle, like we will send some test papers, like just for uh, awareness, like how you are approaching the code and whether you are able to do coding or not. So we will send some test paper, mock interview questions, and you have to try to practice with that also. And we will try to give exercise programs whenever we start logical programming. Some assignments also we will assign, and you have to do the same assignment logics we will explain in the class. And sessions will be from Monday to Saturday. No Sunday classes. Only Sunday is the off. Okay. Remaining all days sessions will be continued. So let's begin with Python. So I'll tell you in this session each and every subject purpose, because you must aware each and every subject purpose. Then it will be easy to learn in full stack development process, because in these many subjects are there. What purpose? Each subject purpose you must and should aware. So first we'll talk about Python. And here out of 6 subjects, you are going to learn only one language, that is Python, sir. So one programming language. Okay. So what is Python means? Python is a programming language. It's a programming language which is used to write coding part for the application development. Coding part for the application development. So Python is a programming language which is used to write coding part for the application development. Yes, in full stack development, any application logic do you want to write, logics or coding, you have to write with Python only, sir. So it's a programming language. Okay. Yes. Then what about next subject, Django? It's not a programming language. It's a framework actually. So Django is a framework, which is used to develop, which is used to develop, which is used to develop the web applications. Using the Django framework, we can develop web applications. So what is a web application means? The application which will provide the services over the web is called web applications. So all web applications which will provide services over the web only, like Flipkart, Amazon, or banking sites, e-commerce sites, all are websites. That type of web application development do you want? Then in Python full stack development, we need some framework like Django or Django. So Django is a framework which is used to develop the web applications. The application which will provide the services over the web or internet is called web application. And Django is a Python-based web development framework. It is a Python-based web development framework, actually. Okay. So Python-based web development framework. Why? Because Django is completely written in Python language. That's what it is, a Python-based web development framework. To learn Django framework, Python is the prerequisite language. If you don't have knowledge of Python, then you cannot able to start learn Django. So Django needs Python because Django framework completely written in which language based? Python language based. It's a Python related framework. So only Django can understand the instructions of Python. Other language instructions cannot. So compulsory you must and should aware of Python only to start learn Django for web development applications in full stack development process. So generally what is framework? Okay, we are saying that framework, right? So simple sir, framework is nothing but its set of rules and specifications or guidelines. So whatever the framework is having set of rules and specifications, we have to follow as a developer. By following that set of rules and specifications, we have to implement the logics only. Okay. So that is what framework. And every framework will have the collection of libraries. For example, the moment when we download and install Django framework, you will get plenty of libraries. Each library means it's a collection of built-in classes. Each classes, each class contains built-in methods. Methods means pre-implemented methods, already implementation done. So they are giving us, as a developer, we have to use it directly or consume it directly in the application development process. So our task will be easy, right? So whenever they offer some framework libraries, by using that libraries, which is already pre-written, you can easily development the application is possible. So that is framework. Framework is nothing but set of rules and specifications. So we have to follow that rules and specification while implementing the web applications. So that is framework only. So not only Django framework, there are several frameworks are there in Python. So Django framework is used to develop web applications. And make sure that to learn Django, compulsory Python is mandatory. And to learn Python or to start with Python, is there any prerequisite knowledge is required? Nothing, not required. Because I can say Python is a simple and basic language. So to learn this basic language, no other basic language prior knowledge is required. So you can start with Python, that's it. So because it's easy syntax, everybody can understand the Python syntaxes. These are straightforward syntaxes, no complexity. And Django learning point of view, Python prior knowledge is required. Okay, yes. So after completion of Django development, like web applications, then next we need to learn REST API subject also. It is also another framework which is related to Python only. Why REST API means it's very important subject actually. Especially in full stack development, every full stack developer should have the idea about API generations. So for API creation, we learn REST API subject in Python full stack development. So what is REST API? It is also a framework. I'll tell you that. First of all, REST stands for representational state transfer. REST means representational state transfer. This is REST. API means application programming interface. Application programming interface, like this. So REST means representational state transfer. API means application programming interface. See, what is exactly API means? API is a software tool. API is a software tool which enable the web application to communicate with other application, to communicate with other application. Yes. So in reality, application to application communication is required, sir. That application to application communication, how it is possible means via API only. So API is a software tool which enable the web application to communicate with other applications only. For example, I'll tell you. So you are using flipkart.com website. It is one of the application, web application. Generally, flipkart.com website, we browse some products to buy or purchase. And whenever we buy a product, when we browse a product and after reading specifications of that product, we decided to buy. You can hit buy now. So after buy now, your Flipkart application must and should communicate with concerned banking application for making payments, right? So the bank application has to give confirmation back to the flipkart.com website, that is Flipkart application. Your Flipkart is one web application and your banking application site is another application. So both are communicating, they are exchanging the data, request and response for making payment confirmation, payment request like that. So that communication is going to happen via API only, sir, in reality. So that's what API is mandatory for making the communication between two or more applications in real time. So without API, we can't able to communicate with other applications. So API is act as a mediatory service between two or more applications. That's what after implementing Django web applications, in case your Django web application should be in a position to connect or communicate with other application, right? For that process, we have to generate APIs. So what is REST API? It's a framework. REST API is framework again. This is also Python based framework, which is used to generate, or create the APIs. API creation purpose, compulsory we need to use another framework in Python full stack development, that is REST API. REST means representational state transfer. API means application programming interface. API is a software tool which enables the web application to communicate with other applications. So it will act as an intermediary tool between two or more applications. So for data exchanging purpose with the JSON or XML format like open standard format. And make sure that so API to generate after Django, we have to start learn REST API for making your web application to communicate with other application, right? So to learn REST API, you must and should aware two subjects. One is Django, next one is Python. So prerequisite subjects for learning REST API is what? Django as well as Python, sir. To learn or to start with REST API, Django knowledge is required, Python knowledge is required. To start with Django, Python knowledge is required. To start with Python, no knowledge is required. You can start with Python happily, no problem. So this is the order of learning actually. Okay, step by step. First, you must and should aware Python knowledge. Then after that, you have to start with web development with the Django framework. Once we finish Django web application, if your web application need to talk with other applications, compulsory your Django framework is need some APIs. How to generate APIs? By using another framework called REST API. For that, we have to learn REST API subject also. See, sir, REST is an architectural pattern or design pattern. The APIs which are generating by using REST architecture is called REST API. Even Java full stack people also, they use RESTful services. They used to call it as web services. And even .NET full stack developers also, they used to call it as web APIs. The subject is common in every full stack development. In Python full stack web development, we are using REST API. That's it. Okay. So this is another framework. Fine. Next, we have one more framework is there in Python, sir. This is the Flask framework. So what is Flask framework? Why it is? Let me explain. See, sir, very simple. Flask is also a Python-based web development framework. Python-based web development framework. web development framework it is. Flask is also a Python-based web development framework. And using Flask framework, we can develop the small scale web applications or single page web applications. Yes, single page web applications or dashboard kind of applications we can build using Flask. So Flask is a micro framework. Flask is a micro framework, which is used to develop small scale applications. It's used to develop the small scale applications. Okay. Yes. So very small scale applications development purpose, we can use Flask framework. And to learn Flask, Python is only enough. Means prior knowledge of Python is required to learn Flask framework. So it is a Python-based web development framework. Using Flask, we can develop single page applications or dashboard kind of applications, even microservices programming also we can write using Flask framework. So small scale applications development purpose, we use a framework called Flask. And normally Django and Flask differences means, so Django through we can develop medium scale and large scale application development is possible. Whereas Flask through we can develop small scale applications and single page web applications we can develop using Flask. This is another framework. To learn Flask, Python is only enough. No Django, no REST API. So these are the total 3 frameworks I'm going to teach and 1 language I'm going to teach, that is Python only. And what about UI basics means generally in full stack development. So you must and should design your web pages, right? Yes, designing web pages purpose or websites purpose, we need compulsory UI basics, user interfaces like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, and then Bootstrap. So usually HTML is for hypertext markup language, which is for designing web pages. And CSS means, do you want to give some styling for your HTML pages? So CSS we can apply cascading style sheet, like look and feel for somewhat better. So we can add some styling, additional styling for the HTML. And after CSS, then JavaScript is there, JS. Generally, JavaScript is used to make the functionality. Means generally, most of the cases, JavaScript can be used for client-side validations. Client-side validation means we are accepting the input from the user and that inputs are correct or not, we have to process. How to process means by using JavaScript validation functions only. HTML, CSS, JavaScript are the basic UI technologies, sir. And jQuery, Bootstrap are advanced UI technologies. So jQuery is an extension subject of JavaScript. So jQuery means JavaScript library only. Normally in plain old JavaScript, we have to write much more lines of logic. So jQuery, when we start use, it will make the simplify the code. So you need not to write much more logic in jQuery only because it is just extension of JavaScript library. All JavaScript related libraries are there, built-in libraries that we can directly use it. That is jQuery only. So Bootstrap is the combination of JavaScript as well as, Bootstrap is the combination of JavaScript libraries as well as CSS libraries. In our web development, Bootstrap only I'm going to use most of the cases for making our website look and feel far better. So these are all UI technologies. So this also we will teach in the point of Django learning time. Because in the web development process, we have to know how to design your web page based upon the requirement, right? So UI basics also we will be covered. And the database knowledge also required because if you are a full stack developer means compulsory you need to understand how to manage your data, how to store our data, retrieve our data. That is, these are the permanent storage areas like databases, MySQL tool, as well as SQLite 3. So most of the operations in Django development, REST API, Flask development, we will do with SQLite 3 because SQLite 3 is a built-in database for Python frameworks. Whenever we set up Django framework, by default, one database will be integrated along with Django framework, that is SQLite 3. We can manage most of the operations with SQLite 3 only. Then also we can include MySQL configuration because a particular database tool is required in full stack development subjects. That's what I'm asking you to use MySQL related only. See, sir, generally Java full stack developers, they recommend to use Oracle database. .NET full stack developer, they recommend to use MS SQL, Microsoft SQL Server. And Python full stack developers, most of the cases, they start use MySQL only. So that's what I have included MySQL. But it doesn't mean that Python through we cannot communicate with Microsoft SQL Server database or MongoDB or PostgreSQL or Oracle. Yes, we can communicate with any database. But majority of the real-time applications we use what? With Python MySQL only. That's what I have included MySQL. So total, these are the 6 subjects I'm going to cover, sir. Okay. So orderly we have to cover. First Python, 45 days to 2 months we will focus. Once you will become good at Python, then we will start development of Django, web development, Django after REST API, REST API after Flask. In the process of Django, REST API, Flask only, we will be covered. We will be use UI basics as well as MySQL and SQLite only. So ultimately, to become a full stack developer, you must and should aware all these subjects. So the person who aware in the front end development as well as back end development, both knowledge, that person become a full stack developer. So for example, front end development as well as back end development is there. Front end development. So what are the front end development subjects and back end development subjects? Simple, sir. Front end development means for the first time as an end user or client or customer, whenever we open any website, there we are going to see on the screen user interface only, right? That is UI, HTML design, text boxes, labels, buttons, and design, images, some GUI completely. That GUI we can develop UI basics through. That means front-end development purpose, we need to learn UI technologies like HTML, CSS, JavaScript, jQuery, Bootstrap. And what about back-end development means rest of the subjects are all are back-end development only. Back-end development need the language. Yes, 3 things are required. One is the language. Which language we are using for back-end development coding means Python language. And also back-end development need the frameworks. What frameworks we are going to use in backend development means there are several frameworks are there like Django, REST API, REST API, Flask. These are all frameworks. And also the databases. The database is required. We can manage our data completely with the database. Database purpose, we use MySQL and also SQLite 3. So these are all backend development process only. So the person who is aware front-end development and back-end development completely, that person become full stack developer only, sir. So front-end development purpose, we are going to learn UI basics all. Back-end development purpose, we are going to learn total 3 things. One is the language, which is Python. And next one is the frameworks, Django, REST API, Flask. And next one is the database knowledge, MySQL as well as SQLite 3 only. This is about complete backend development as well as front-end development. Both we are going to focus to learn. So this is a basic demonstration today, which I conducted. Tomorrow also we have a demo. Feel free to attend the demo lectures, at least 4 demo lectures we have. So after 4 demo lectures, then you can decide, okay, do you want to continue these lectures or not? So that's all from my side today. It's just a basic demo session. Tomorrow we will expect more students and also we will continue. So no matter how many students will be join in this course, we will continue the sessions completely. And now it's time to you. If you have any questions, you can feel free to ask me now in the chat box, or else you can speak with me, no problem. If you have any questions regarding this explanation, this is just consider as a one basic demo session. What subjects and each and every subject purpose I explain. Tomorrow onwards, we will discuss complete introduction of Python, and we will also set up Python installation process and making setup of editor tools. Then after we'll start slowly coding part also. So that's all from my side, which I wanted to explain related to Python subjects. So now if it's your turn. If you have any questions, please you can proceed it. I'll answer it. You can feel free to attend 3 more demo lectures with the same link at same time 7 a.m. IST. So after that you can decide, sir. Okay. Any questions, Mr. Ganesh and Fernando? If you have any questions, please type the question in chat box. I'll wait here for a few minutes and answer it. Right, sir. Thanks for attending this session. I hope you don't have any questions regarding today's lecture. Tomorrow we'll continue from here onwards. You can feel free to attend tomorrow, and total 3 more demo lectures we have. You can feel free to attend, and we'll continue with our Python lectures. Yeah. If you don't have any technical experience, you can easily switch to Python only, because Python nowadays, you know how it is impact on IT industry. So Python, uh, it's easy to start learn, no problem at all, because Python don't need any prior technical experiences. You can start from Python from scratch. It will be good. So you can practice regularly and understand the concepts clearly, so that you will be good at Python only. Even in this batch, so I'm going to cover Python with AI tools, means ChatGPT, how to use with Python script, and Gemini, Perplexity, Claude, some tools I'm going to cover AI tools, as well as some key libraries also, especially data science libraries, Pandas, Matplotlib, NumPy. Okay, so these are all important libraries which we are going to cover. Okay, if you have any questions still, you can. Right, sir. Thanks for attending this session. Have a nice time. See you tomorrow. You can feel free to continue the demo lectures, 3 more demo lectures. Then you can decide. Have a nice time.